Is Northeast Michigan's best news source. You're waking up to WBKB Early Morning, your first look at news, weather, and sports. This is Early Morning.
Representative Dan Binishek made a stop at DaVita Healthcare in Alpena yesterday. Plus, the last remaining traffic light in Presque County could be coming down. And lack of funding for bridges in Presque County is causing problems. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Ashley Reed. For a first look at the weather, let's check in with meteorologist Adam Claiborne.
All right, good morning to you, Ashley. Spring starts in less than 12 hours. Looking at our temperatures, we are at 35 degrees. West winds are at 7 miles per hour. As we take a look at our satellite and radar, this is the system that we have been dealing with over the past 24 to 36 hours. It will continue to make its way on towards the northeast, and we'll see more of the snow showers throughout the morning. Not going to be lasting too much longer, as we'll see that the snow will die off by early morning, at least by the afternoon hours. And then by tonight, we should be mostly clear and temperatures will tumble as we'll find ourselves back in the lower teens and the upper single digits for overnight lows. Taking a look at our day planner, still have the snow around this morning. Temperatures are going to be around the 20s. And then during the afternoon, we'll see that we'll reach a high of 34 degrees in Alpena. Most of the snow starting to push out of here. And for this time of the year, 30s are actually not too far off of average, as highs typically should be around the upper 30s. But tonight, that's when we will see lows really start to drop off, and we'll be in the lower teens with mostly clear conditions.
All right, thanks, Adam. Well, a Presque County corrections officer has been accused of sexual assault. A woman claims that 55-year-old Richard David Hansen touched her inappropriately at a home in Rogers City. Hansen has been charged with 2 counts of 4th-degree criminal sexual conduct, defined as forced or inappropriate sexual contact, which is punishable up to 2 years in prison. Hansen's case was handed over to the Michigan State Police Alpena Post and Sheboygan County Prosecutor Daryl Visna due to a conflict of interest in Presque County. Hansen was employed by the Presque County Sheriff's Office and is now on administrative leave. He was, however, arrested in Presque County but was released on Sunday after posting bond. Hansen's arraignment is scheduled for Wednesday, March 26th. And Representative Dan Binishek made a stop at DaVita Healthcare in Alpena yesterday to let patients and employees know that he understands the importance of patient care. Binishek feels that the Affordable Care Act is bad for patient care, and he doesn't want to see centers like DaVita eliminated. As a physician who has been taking care of patients for the past 30 years, Binishek sees how important DaVita is to patients with kidney failure.
They save my life every time I come in here, because I read where this guy threw up his hand and said, I'm not going to do any more dialysis, and 10 days later he was dead.
DaVita delivers dialysis services to patients with chronic kidney failure and end-stage renal disease.
The challenges that centers like this have to remain open are huge, especially with the cuts coming to Medicare reimbursement with the Affordable Care Act. So I've been opposed to the Affordable Care Act from the beginning because of the Medicare cuts. And in the Alpena area, there's over $100 million in Medicare cuts coming over the next 10 years.
Binishek will be visiting different facilities on the eastern half of the Lower Peninsula throughout the entire week. And Presque County could lose its last remaining traffic signal located in Rogers City. According to the Michigan Department of Transportation, the traffic light at the intersection of US 23 Business Route and M68 may no longer be needed due to the decreasing traffic volume. MDOT is currently evaluating whether the light should be removed completely or just be turned into a blinking stoplight. Rogers City officials met with MDOT Tuesday to discuss possible benefits of removing the downtown light.
Without the traffic signal, the traffic may flow better. It may reduce emissions. It may actually, help people get through town. We look at, to try to move traffic through there safely, and to see what's the best way to do that.
MDOT plans to start the evaluation process by turning the light into a blinking signal and examining the effect that would have on traffic flow through the city. And Presque County Road Commission is looking for funds to help repair several broken down bridges. One of the county's 26 bridges has deteriorated to a point beyond repairs, and without significant funding from the state, the Road Commission is forced to look elsewhere for possible solutions. State officials are looking to pass new legislation that could help cover the increasing costs for local roads, but they are finding it difficult to do without increasing taxes. Road Commission officials say they can't wait much longer.
We're in dire need. You know, we're over budget as far as winter maintenance. We're behind times as far as with equipment. I've got trucks that are on an average 15 to 18 years old. They're out on the roadway. That's not very safe, I don't think.
Smigelski says that any money from the state for road maintenance gets divided up among state, county, and local agencies. Without proper funding, the county could be forced to close more bridges or roads. And Alpena County Commissioners have approved 2 more millages to be placed on the coming ballots in August. County residents will have 2 more millages to vote on in August, in addition to the recently approved renewal for the Youth and Rec mill. One mill will be to renew the current older persons millage at .55 mils that goes toward nutrition programs, recreational activities, and senior center programs. This year they will be asking for restoration of the past Headley Amendment that had reduced the senior millage. This will add an additional $9,000 in funds to take effect on December 1st. Committee members also approved the ballot language for an ambulance millage.
The ambulance millage is important. It doesn't just go to cover the ambulance itself or the ambulance service. It goes to the townships and the people in the community that actually are first responders.
The ambulance millage helps to reimburse first responders and EMTs for license training. This year, Harbor Mill says they plan to buy 2 new ambulances over the 6-year millage period. The mill also helps fund $50 per emergency run in the county and helps with radios and necessary equipment. When WBKB Early Morning returns, Sanctuary Superintendent Jeff Gray is here to talk about the Sanctuary's Marine Tech program as well as their relationship with many area schools. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. I'm Ashley Reed. I'm joined here this morning by Jeff Gray from the Sanctuary. Good morning.
Good morning. It's
and
great to be
I'm glad to have you here. And I know we're going to talk a little bit about the Marine Tech program and then the Sanctuary's partnership with schools. Yeah. So I guess if you want to start out, kind of tell me a little bit more about the Marine Tech program and how the Sanctuary uses it.
Well, marine technology is a pretty general term, and what it means is basically the technology we use to explore the ocean and the Great Lakes. And we actually know more about the surface of the moon than we do about the bottom of the ocean. So it's pretty important. When you think about the ocean feeds us, it drives our weather, supplies us energy, and so there's more and more technology coming out that's really allowing us to do more with it. We bring that technology here to Alpena from universities and researchers across the world to help better understand what's going on with Lake Huron, and not just the shipwrecks, but the lake itself. Okay,
and tell me some of the things that the Sanctuary actually does to incorporate marine technology.
Yeah, and we really try to recruit researchers. Universities and professors are looking for places to go to bring their students and do work. We've had students from around the world come here and do research with us. Probably the biggest thing that we know about is the ROV technology that's brought here, these underwater robots that allow us to stay underwater for hours and hours at a time and explore the bottom, either fishery habitats or the shipwrecks themselves. Bob Ballard has been here. He's the individual that found the Titanic and PT-109 and several of those wrecks and brought us here. And when a high-profile researcher like that comes to town, that not only helps us with understanding the work we're doing, but really promotes Alpena and puts us on the map.
Right, and I know when I was there earlier this week, I had heard that between everyone that comes to the Sanctuary, it's mostly young people. So I know you do a lot of work with young people and the local area schools.
Yeah. So technology is an incredible, and it's changing all the time. And so while we attract researchers here, what we're trying to do is instill this type of technology into the schools from the very young, literally from kindergartners all the way to the community college. And so what we're doing is trying to expose students to this technology so they can have new career opportunities. And marine technology is the same as the technology used to go to the moon, the same as used to get in a factory, the same that is used in operating rooms. And so the great thing about this is we're using the underwater environment to excite students, to get them exposed to the robotics, the computers, the different types of technology we use in our research, but it's really opening doors for them in many career paths.
Very neat. And then tell me a little bit more about the partnership with ACC, because I know that's one of your biggest partnerships.
Well, our community is so fortunate to have the community college here. It offers so much for us, and one of the more exciting things, I think, for us at least, is the Marine Technology Program. It's a 2-year program that's basically training students for these careers. You know, the aircraft that's missing right now, when that's found, marine technology we will use to do the research on it. There's many opportunities out there. They're really focusing on the ROVs, which are used in oil and gas development, offshore wind and that. And so what it is opening the doors for these students to go explore the world. We have one student that just received an internship with the Okeanos Explorer, and that's Dr. Ballard's research vessel.
Cool.
And he'll be out this summer for several weeks working with him as they explore. I believe they'll be in the Gulf of Mexico. So.
And I think another cool thing is it's a 2-year program too, so you don't necessarily have to go 4 years of school. You can do 2 years and still be given such great opportunities, especially in this area.
Yeah, and there's jobs. I mean, the offshore oil and gas is searching for people. We've had industry here to look for them, very well-paying jobs, and so it's an exciting opportunity. It's also great, again, to expose people that do want to go on for their bachelor's degree, master's degree, or PhD. You can get the core of your education and really understand the technology you'll be using to be the next Dr. Ballard, I guess.
Okay, and then when I was there earlier this week, I was with some of the elementary school kids who are working toward this. I know there's a big competition this summer, the ROV Mate competition, so kind of touch on that for a second.
So right now, literally hundreds of schools around the world, maybe thousands of schools and students around the world are working to build ROVs from Russia, across our country, the Middle East, everywhere, to compete for the opportunity to come to Alpena this summer and with the robots they've built, compete in our tank that we have at our facility right there and do that. And so what they're building is our robots that are going to take part in a mission, a simulated mission of the sanctuary. So literally people in Russia right now are thinking about Thunder Bay and Alpena and the shipwrecks here and they'll do it. And it's, again, hands-on. I wish I would have had this opportunity when I was a kid, these hands-on education programs where it's throughout a year they're building this robot to come in, and it's spectacular. These kids, you got an opportunity to see some of the more simpler ones they're doing, and in June I think people will be blown away when 1,000 people show up to Alpena with some incredible technology and some incredible students.
Very neat. Well, that's all the time we have, but thank you so much for joining us. And you can tune in tonight. Later at 6 and 11, we'll see some of those kids who have been working on the ROVs for this upcoming Mate competition this summer. And sports is next with Shannon McGrath, and she'll tell you about basketball fun night at ACC and let you know if the Pistons could finally pull off a road win. Stay right here on WBKB for all that and more as the news continues.
Community college basketball came to an end a few weeks ago, but last night Lumberjack Ballers and Pied Piper students and alums suited up for the 17th annual basketball fun night. 200 plus went out for the game to raise over $600 for the Special Olympics. Playing last night were the Area 3 Hawks and Falcons, the men and women of ACC, and 10 state troopers, all looking to entertain the crowd. It was a battle to the very end as both teams made some key baskets when they needed to. During the first half, Area 3 players received medals for finishing second and third in the Special Olympic Regional Tournament. However, once the clock started again, players made sure to get fans on their feet.
It gets better every year. The crowd is bigger this year than it was last year, so every year it gets bigger and bigger. 17 years and we still got it going on, and that's unusual. Sometimes it fades away, but this is something big for me, Brett, and for ACC as well.
Heading west, the Pistons have lost 10 straight road games, but we're hoping to snap that stat while playing the Nuggets last night. Getting right to the action, Pistons on a run early. Josh Smith drives in 2. He was ejected in the third after receiving a technical foul. Final seconds of quarter one, Contavious Caldwell-Pope. Pistons trail 1. Start of the second quarter, Rodney Stuckey lays in a pair. He ended the night with 18 points. 2 minutes later, Will Bynum puts the Pistons up 10, but it wasn't enough to help them end their losing losing streak on the road. Pistons fall 118-109 to the Nuggets. Heading over to college ball, second round of the NCAA tournament starts today. Looking at Western Michigan's opponent, Syracuse. The Orange started their season 25-0 before dropping 5 of their last 7 games. Last season, Syracuse made it to the Final Four for the first time since 2003 before losing to Michigan 61-56. At 4:40 p.m. today, 4-seeded Michigan State tips off with 13-seeded Delaware. The Fighting Blue Hens have won 19 of their last 21 games, capturing the Colonial Athletic Association's regular season and tournament titles. This will be Delaware's first NCAA appearance since 1999. And ending the action will be Michigan taking on Warford in Milwaukee at 7:10. This season, the Terriers won the Southern Conference Championship, earning their 3rd NCAA ticket in school history. Tonight, 20-12 Warford will look to win its first ever tournament game at the hands of 25-8 Michigan. And taking a look at other teams playing today, Ohio and Dayton will play at 12:15, while Wisconsin takes on American at 12:40. Going into this winter sports season, one Whittemore Prescott wrestler knew he had a lot to live up to, but that pressure made him work even harder. WBKB's Jeff Kolb has more.
You got the brownie and the ice cream, and hopefully next year it can be the cherry.
Victory never sounded so sweet.
And not this time. Ryan Prescott with his 4th consecutive pin.
Earlier this month, Whittemore Prescott heavyweight Ryan Prescott made his brownie into an a la mode, hogging the sweet taste of victory for the 2nd straight year by defending his state title.
You say, wow, I sacrificed a lot just to be great, you know, so I will not let another man take all my hard work away.
That hard work equaled dominance. Prescott finished the year undefeated and didn't allow more than a point to any of his opponents. But his final celebration did not indicate the end to an easy job at all.
It shocked me. It really did. As excited as he got, you know, because he has won one. He's been there. That tells me that he's hungry. I mean, that's what he wanted, and he got it.
Not only did Prescott pin his way through this year's tournament to bring home his 2nd championship medal, he did it with a major target on his back.
People know how you wrestle, you know. I have videos online that people can watch.
That forced Prescott to adjust, which he did.
You can't be stuck on that one move like, I'm going to get this move. You have to, you know, be mature about it, and you have to go, all right, I can't get it, I'm going to get the next one.
And for Ryan, there will always be a next, whether it's the cherry on top or something else.
His mindset is, even though I'm this good, I can always get better.
In Whittemore, Jeff Kolb, WBKB Sports.
If Prescott were to keep his winning streak alive, he could potentially join Adam Cunningham, the only other Cardinal to win 3 state titles. And that's it for your sports this morning, but don't go anywhere. Ashley, back to you.
Thanks, Shannon. Well, it's the first day of spring, but are we going to see any spring weather anytime soon? Let's turn it back over to meteorologist Adam Claiborne so he can let us know. Adam?
Okay, Ashley, we are going to take a look at how the colder air is trying to push his way in from the west, but not going to be making that much headway because we'll have temperatures, they will stay right around the 30s throughout the afternoon. 38 in Tawas City currently, 32 down in Gaylord, and sitting at 36 in Mount Pleasant. Just off to the west, not that much colder, 52 in Omaha, 35 degrees in Minneapolis. There is slightly cool air back into the UP, but that's not really going to be affecting us right now. It's not until the weekend that we see a much colder air mass come in from the north, and that will be actually an Arctic air mass, and hopefully that will be the last one that we see for a while. This area of low pressure has been providing some rain as well as some snow throughout the overnight. We'll continue to see that the snow showers will linger for the morning, but by late morning and early afternoon, all of this should start to push off to the east, and we'll be just noticing maybe lingering flurries by 1 or 2 p.m. before by the evening commute could be seeing mostly clear skies, and definitely by tonight things will be a lot more clear for us as we take a look at our current radar. A little closer view, seeing that the rain is pushing out of here, and a little bit of snow a little farther off to the west, and we'll see more of that throughout the early morning. Taking a look at our winds, 9 miles per hour in Houghton Lake, 8 miles per hour in Oscoda. Expect these to really pick up. We'll be between anywhere maybe 10 to 20 miles per hour, and could see gusts as high as 25. What's ahead, we'll see the light snow during the morning, average highs during the afternoon as we are starting off the season of spring. Average highs should be right around the upper 30s. We'll make our way to the lower and middle 30s, and cooling off tonight as the temperatures will fall off to the lower teens and the upper single digits. But this area of low pressure, it pushes off towards the northeast. Windy conditions right behind that, and not going to be noticing much moisture around our neck of the woods. As we take a look at Futurecast, as it gets out of here, and it gets out of here really quickly, we'll be dealing with some clouds early throughout the morning and throughout the afternoon, but by tonight, expect things really to clear up for us. And early Friday should be very nice before things start to go a little downhill, getting closer to the evening hours on Friday, and our next disturbance will come in with our next chance of snow, and not going to be expecting as much as what we saw with this past system. But as we take a look at our highs for today, 34 in Alpena, starting to drop off tonight into the lower teens, 12 degrees for our overnight low. And winds actually will start to lighten up a bit. Well, we won't be noticing much in terms of the winds. But our extended outlook, more the 30s for highs Saturday and Sunday. Well, not Sunday. Highs will be back in the 20s, and we'll keep the 20s all the way through Tuesday.
Well, happy spring to us. Thanks, Adam. Coming up next on WBKB Early Morning, military planes are being used to investigate possible debris in the southern Indian Ocean that may be linked to missing Flight 370. Stay tuned. Good morning and welcome back. I'm Ashley Reed. In national news, 4 military planes are being used to search a section of the Indian Ocean for debris after satellites spotted objects that may be connected to missing Flight 370. CBS's Tara Mergener has the latest from Washington.
Australia's Prime Minister says military planes are investigating a possible debris field in the southern Indian Ocean, southwest of Perth, that may be tied to the missing Malaysian airliner.
2 possible objects related to the search have been identified. The task of locating these objects will be extremely difficult, and it may turn out that they are not related to the search for flight MH370.
The objects were spotted on satellite images.
This is a lead. It is probably the best lead we have right now.
Malaysian officials are now working to verify the information.
We have been following every single lead. And this time, I just hope that it is a positive development.
The U.S. Navy's Boeing P-8A is part of the massive search for any sign of Flight 370, and now the FBI is involved. Malaysian authorities asked the agency to help analyze data deleted from a flight simulator found in the pilot's home. They say several files were wiped from the device in February. Investigators will see if recovered information can provide new clues or show if the jet's diverted flight path away from its pre-planned route to Beijing may have been rehearsed. Tara Mergener for CBS News.
And in his first comments on the plane Wednesday, President Obama said finding out what happened to the missing airliner is a top U.S. priority. Well, we're going to take one last look at weather. Adam?
All right, Ashley. Well, spring is so close, and this is going to be the last time I see you before spring officially starts. It'll be at 12:57 p.m. today, so we're less than a day away, actually less than 6 hours, and we'll see that by the time we make our way closer to the afternoon hour. Highs will be back in the 30s. It's currently at 35 degrees, seeing that the fog is around. West winds are at 7 miles per hour. Snow, we'll have that in the forecast during the morning as the moisture will continue to make its way from the west to the east, and then by late this evening and by tonight, that's when all of this starts to push out of here, and we'll see mostly clear conditions tonight, and that will really start to allow temperatures to drop off as the colder air mass builds its way in, but we're not going to experience Arctic air. As we take a closer look at our satellite or radar, you can see how things are starting to move out of here, and we'll see that this last band of snow will push through here early this morning. Our day planner will have a high of 34 degrees, maybe a few flurries during the afternoon, but really starting to see clear skies by tonight with lows in the lower teens.
Well, sorry, Adam, I said happy spring, but we still have a few more hours. Be sure to tune in tonight for WBKB 11 News at 6 for updates in news, sports, and weather. Lindsay Adeluca will have the latest in local news. Meteorologist Adam Claybon will have the weather, and Shannon McGrattan will have all of your updates from the world of sports. Also, don't forget you can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online. Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night, or add us on Facebook at facebook.com/WBKBTV. That's all we have for you today on WBKB Early Morning. Thanks for watching. Good Morning America's up next.